Well, hi everyone. My name is Darren Milligan, and you are live for our weekly Smithsonian Learning Lab office hours. This is our weekly open session for Q&A around using Smithsonian digital resources or using the Smithsonian Learning Lab platform. I'm just going to walk through a couple slides here on how this goes, and then we will kick in any questions that come in. So again, my name is Darren Milligan. I'm the director of the Smithsonian Learning Lab here at the Smithsonian Center for Learning and Digital Access in Washington, D.C. And we're here most Tuesdays between the hours of 4 and 5 o'clock Eastern Time. If you have specific questions around finding and using digital resources from across the Smithsonian's 19 museums, research centers, libraries, and archives, and the National Zoo, or if you're looking for an orientation or have a question about using the Smithsonian Learning Lab platform. The way this works is you can see and hear me, but I can't hear or see you. But you can submit your questions directly to me, and I'll put those up on the screen and address them in the order that they came in. So if you're watching this on the Smithsonian Education YouTube stream, the way that you can submit your questions is by using the chat box. Typically that appears to the right of the screen. Sometimes it's just below the screen, depending on how your browser's set up. But to submit your questions, just post a comment there in the chat area, and I'll see those questions come in. If you're watching our stream via the Smithsonian Education Facebook page, the way to submit your questions is to comment on the video feed. So you just want to click that comment button and place a comment on the video stream. And again, I'll see those questions and put them up on the screen and address them as they come through. So just want to welcome folks. If you've just popped in, this is our weekly Smithsonian office hours. My name is Darren Milligan. I'm here in Washington, D.C. And if you have a question, you can submit that using the chat or the comment area on YouTube or Facebook. I'll put a comment in there now from Smithsonian Education so you can see where those appear. And as soon as you're ready, please feel free to ask a question. So I've just put a comment both on YouTube and on Facebook. So hopefully if you are streaming there, you're able to see that. And that's where you can put your question or comment. So until those come in, I'm going to just put the slide up on full screen, and I'll wait for those questions to come in. It looks like we've got our first question just came in from Simone. I'm going to put that up on the screen there. Simone says, I cannot get my 16 collections into one collection. Simone, can you give me some more information about what you're trying to do? I'm not sure if I understand what you mean by getting a collection into another collection. If you could describe that a little bit further, hopefully we can find a resolution for you. Thanks for bringing that to our attention. We're all consistently looking that way from one source. Okay, Simone, let's see. So on the Learning Lab, you created 16 collections on Mandala, and it needs a heading. When I search my collection, only one shows up. Let's make sure we're looking in the right place here, Simone. So I'm going to switch over to the lab. When you're on the Learning Lab, and if you're logged in, as you probably know, you come up to the sunburst there in the upper right-hand corner. And then you want to go into My Learning Lab Collections. And this is where you'll find all of your collections. So is the issue that you're not able to locate your collections, Simone, or are they not showing up when you search for them, meaning them maybe are not published? All right, Simone, I just saw your question there that or your comment there that you can see all the collections there. They are published. So again, Simone, I'm not sure I understand what you're trying to do. So the problem is the collections are all related to one theme. So Simone, perhaps you're trying to link the collections together? Just guessing. I'm trying to link them to one. Simone, one way you can do that is in the text area. So if I open up one of my collections, I could include links to the other collections right in the description field. That way, you could create sort of a cover collection that includes information about or links to all the other collections. For example, I'll show you here in this collection. So I could edit the info, and I'm in edit mode here, Simone. And in the description here, I could list out each of the collection names, and I could make those names links to the other collections. So when someone found this main collection, they could see the other collections. That's one option. The other option is to add the other collections as individual resources within this collection. So to do that, what you would want to do is to choose the Add a Resource option. I see. So you want the visual of the 16. So the way to do that, I know you mentioned you were talking with Philippa, and I was talking to her earlier also. I know there were a couple issues with this. But the way you would do that is you'd add a resource, and you'd choose this middle tab here, Add a Resource. And you would need to find the collection that you want to add. So one of those other 16, you would need the URL of that collection. So if I were going to add this one, I'd go up here and highlight, get the URL of that and copy that. So once I've copied that, then I'm going to come over to where I was adding that resource. And you can give it a title. And you want to choose, it'll be automatically selected for you. I want to contribute a website, and you want to paste the website of the collection you want to add into that space. And then click the blue Add button. And then Learning Lab should then add this resource into that collection and generate a screenshot of the other collection to be included. We'll see. It looks like Learning Lab's a bit slow this afternoon, but we'll be patient and see what happens there. Looks like it's still processing the screenshot here, so it's just showing up gray. But in a sense, this is that collection that I've added in, and it should eventually generate a screenshot of that collection included in that. So Simone, I think that is what you perhaps were trying to do, but let me know. You can see there is a screenshot here. It's not a great one, but it is a screenshot then of that collection. And when a user clicks on that, they'll be given a link to that. So to answer your question, Simone, do I have to do that for each collection? Yeah, so you need to go through and do that for all 16 of them to create that sort of index collection, or that table of contents sort of collection of the other 16 collections. So hopefully that got an answer, Simone, to what you're doing there, but please let me know. Okay, great. If anyone has just joined us, welcome to Smithsonian Office Hours. This is our weekly open session for Q&A about finding and using digital resources from across the Smithsonian's museums, research centers, libraries, archives, and the National Zoo. Or if you're looking for a tutorial or have a question about using one of the tools of the Smithsonian Learning Lab, you're in the right place. The way that you submit your questions is by submitting a comment to the chat area if you're watching this on the Smithsonian Education YouTube channel, or commenting on the video if you're watching us through the Smithsonian Education Facebook stream. So just been chatting a little bit with Simone, watching us there on YouTube. But if you have a question, please feel free to go ahead and put that in the chat area, and we will get your questions. We've got another question here. I'll just put this up on the screen. Carol asks, I'm a new docent at the National Portrait Gallery. That's great, Carol, welcome. And new to the Learning Lab. What's the best way to get started? I'll be using portraits in the NPG only. So Carol, I want to direct you first to our Getting Started guide. It's a great way to start off with the lab. And let me just put a link to that up on the screen. Here we go. I'm also going to load that up here. Let's see, make sure I get it right. SLL guide. So Carol, this is a PDF. I'm going to put it in the chat area too, so hopefully you can just grab that link directly. So Carol, that will give you a brief introduction to the lab and using the Learning Lab. Another great way is really just to scroll through the homepage. So we've set up the homepage as an introduction to what you can do on the lab. And we use these words on the left often to talk about that. So discover, create, share, and learn. And so as you scroll through, you'll get more information about what you can find in the lab. So resources, those would be the portraits from the Portrait Gallery, and the collections that you'll be building using the tools of the lab. You keep scrolling through here, you'll get some information about some of those tools that you can use to add interactivity to those collections. And then some ways, more information about how you might publish or use the collections that you'll be making. One of the ways, Carol, if you want to have more of a browse experience than a direct search experience, is if you come up to the top here, normally you can use this search box that's up at the top of all pages. But if you click on the Discover and you drop down here to this other search box, so this only works on this one search box, so it's a bit of a little hidden feature. If you don't put anything into the search box, so just leave that blank, but come over here to the magnifying glass and click on that magnifying glass. So what this is going to do is it's going to pull back the millions and millions of resources that are available from the Learning Lab. And I'm going to show you how to get just to the Portrait Gallery resources as soon as this loads. This sometimes takes a few minutes because it's pulling back so many resources. So we'll pause here for just a second, Carol, and I'll show you the next step in just a moment. And then I'll put a link to go directly to what I'm going to show you so you can get to it a little bit easier. And again, we're looking at Carol's question. Carol's just joining the Smithsonian as a new docent at the Portrait Gallery, and she's looking for getting access to the portraits. So I'm going to move that away. And Carol, I'm going to also get rid of that link so we can see a little bit more of the screen. So I've done a search here, and so the Learning Lab has 5,529,032 individual resources. But you said you just want things from the Portrait Gallery, so I'm going to come over to this refined search panel. So that appears if you click on this refined search, open that up. And as I scroll down here, I'm going to look at the second field, which is resource provider. And I'm going to scroll down until I see the National Portrait Gallery. Here we go. So I'm going to check that box. So you can see here there's 31,598 resources. Sorry about that. From the National Portrait Gallery. I'm going to scroll back up now to the top after I've checked that and click this update search field. So what this is going to do now is give me just the resources from the National Portrait Gallery if I want to start scrolling through. So this is, give you a little bit of a different experience to really just browse through. And again, if you're looking just for images, you could add another filter to it. I'm going to go ahead and apply that one. You can see here there's some videos and some other things, so get it a little bit closer to just the portraits. I got to click that button. There we go. Great. So there's almost 31,000 portraits here. So you can see these are all the Portrait Gallery images. So what I'm going to do, Carol, is put this direct link right in the chat area so you can grab it if you want to start browsing a little bit through there. So I'm hoping, Carol, and let me know, between the Getting Started guide and access here to the Portrait Gallery images, hopefully that will give you a good start. But let me know if there's more of a specific question that maybe you have about a specific tool of the lab, or if you're looking for just a general introduction to the lab, let me know. I'm just going to continue looking at all these great portraits. Carol, exactly. So if you're looking for a specific one, you can just do a search. And so if I was looking for, Abraham Lincoln, I can go ahead and do that search. And there'll be some search suggestions here that you can click on, but if not, you can just click the magnifying glass again, and it will do a full search for that phrase. Let's see what we get back here for Abraham Lincoln. So again, Carol, because I started from that link that had just the Portrait Gallery and images selection, and I did the search there. So again, it's just still looking at images from the Portrait Gallery. So there's 523 resources that reference Abraham Lincoln. So you might need a more specific search if you're looking for something around Abraham Lincoln. But yeah, you can just do a keyword or a phrase search to find the portrait that you're looking for. Once you found one that you want to start using, you can click into any of these, of course, learn a little bit more about them. But if you're ready to start building Learning Lab collections, you'll need to sign in. You'll need to create an account. But once you've done that and you're signed in, you'll be able to add any of these images, any of these resources, videos, images, etc., into a collection. And you do that using the second button here on the left. So you can get information about this. So all the the information that the portrait gallery has on this object is here. But if I want to start creating things, I can click this second add to a collection button, and that's going to give me the opportunity to add it to one of my existing collections or to create a new collection, Carol. So if you're starting off a new collection, you can click that button too, and you can use the second tab here to create a collection and add that into a new aggregation of resources that you'll be creating. If you just want to favorite something to kind of bookmark it also, that's what this little heart is here for. So if you aren't quite ready yet to start building something, but you want to find something later on, you can click on that heart, and then up here in the navigation, you can go check out your favorites. So everything that you click that heart on will show up in your favorites here. You can access those things later. Oh, and it looks like I think I missed a question from Simone we were talking to earlier. You cannot move a collection around in the published area, right? So Simone, if you're talking about the My Collections area where you go and look at all of your collections, that's right. So that's just organized by the date published. So you can't necessarily customize that space, but let me know if that wasn't your question. Oh, you're welcome, Carol. Thank you for dropping in to office hours. I'm here for another 40 minutes or so. So if as you're playing around there, you have some more questions, please just chime back in and let me know. If anyone has just joined us, welcome to weekly Smithsonian office hours. My name is Darren Milligan. I'm here at the Center for Learning and Digital Access, Washington, D.C. And this is our open session between 4 and 5 o'clock on most Tuesdays to help you find a digital resource from across the Smithsonian's landscape of museums and research centers and archives and libraries and the National Zoo. Or to give you an orientation to the Smithsonian Learning Lab platform and to help you use its tools. So the way that you get your questions in is to use the chat or comment area. So if you're watching us on the Smithsonian YouTube stream, the way that you submit your questions is by participating in the chat area there to the right of the screen. And if you're watching this from the Smithsonian Education Facebook stream, the way that you can participate is to comment on the video, and I'll see those comments here as questions and can address them as they come in. So welcome. Looks like we've got somebody in just saying hi. Hi there, Dusty. Thanks for joining us on office hours this week. Hope you're doing well. Um, nice to see you here. Okay, it looks like Carol is back. Hi, Carol. I'm going to pop your question here up on the screen. So you've been able to start a collection and add a portrait. It's great. However, I'm not able to add the next portrait to the collection. Let's see where maybe you're getting hung up, Carol. So you did what we showed you last time. So you've created the collection, um, and uh, and it should appear now up here under My Collections in this area. So assuming that's true, maybe you can give me a little bit more information about what you were attempting when you hit the roadblock there, and we can walk you through it. So, Carol, if you can just let me know any additional information of what's preventing you from being able to add that, we can walk you through that hopefully. Okay, Carol, just your message just came in. Sorry about that. So I found the next portrait, clicked on it. My collections appear with the first portrait. Get a circle with a line. So when hovering over add, circle with a line. Line. Let me see here. And see if I can sort of recreate this, Carol. See if we can find where the problem is. So it seems like you've found the next portrait. So you clicked into a second resource. You've already created the collection, added the first resource into that collection. And then you get to the individual resource page, like this one that's loading here. And then when you're clicking on the add to collection, when you get that, this comes up. I'm wondering because maybe, Carol, because you just have one collection, you do need to select it. So I'm guessing when you get to this point, maybe you're just seeing your one collection here, but you actually have to click on it to let it know. Because when you've got more than one collection, you'll see you'll have a bunch of them here. So I'm guessing maybe that's where you're stumbling, because you can actually add resources in the multiple collections at once if you'd like to. But I'm guessing maybe you got here and you're not able to get the add button there. But if you click on the collection and then you click the add button, you should be good to go. But let me know if that didn't get you to your answer. And if anyone has just joined us, you're in the right place for our weekly Smithsonian Learning Lab office hours. We're here about another 10 minutes tonight, but we're here most Tuesdays. The full schedule for our office hours is up on the homepage of the Learning Lab. I'll show you where that is. So if we can't get to your question tonight, we'll certainly be able to get to you in a future session. Our office hours schedules is here down on that Learn button. So if you click on that Learn, it'll drop you all the way down. And you'll see down here online office hours. So here we are right now. Our next session is next week with my great colleague, Tess Porter, who's a digital content producer at the Center for Learning and Digital Access. She'll be back here for our last office hours of 2020. But then we'll be back that first week of January on Tuesday, January 5th. And then every Tuesday in January with our regular office hours. Sorry, it looks like I was muted there, Carol. Sorry about that. The question I was asking was, are you able to make it to this section, or are you still here at the individual portrait page where you're encountering the difficulties? So I guess the question is, once you're here, are you able to click on the Add to Collection button on the left here? You can see where my mouse is, hopefully there on the left. And are you getting this overlay where you can select it, or are you not able to even get that far? All right, Carol, so you're at the portrait page. Let's see. I cannot select collections, but next screen doesn't have a clear picture. So let me see, so you're here and you've chosen to add it to a collection. And when you choose a collection and say add, it does seem like it gets there, and then you get this message here, and it's then when you go to the collection where you're seeing the issue. So you're choosing to add it to a collection. You're choosing the collection, you're saying add, so you're able to get that far. And then when you go view the collection is when you're seeing the image not clear. So here I just did that, and here's that that photograph of the Maasai person that I added into the collection. Won't let me choose the new picture. Carol, sorry, I think we're getting caught up in some terminology here. I'm not quite sure where you're referring to. So you're at the resource page. You click the Add to Collection button. The overlay comes up. You click on the collection that you want to add. You click the blue Add button. Are you able to make it that far? Let's see if I can get a yes or no on that. Were you able to get to that point? Okay. So let me take it back here, Carol. So you open the resource, you do see this overlay, and you're on the My Collections tab here, and you've clicked on the collection. Are you seeing this blue overlay with a check mark? When you clicked the collection that you want to add the resource to. So Carol, if you can let me know that you're able to see similar to what I'm seeing here on my screen, where you've chosen the collection that you want to add it to. It's highlighted it in blue. So Carol, I think maybe there's a little confusion. So if you're seeing a screen similar to what I'm seeing, however, you won't see these other things. This is the entire collection that you've created. So you're telling the Learning Lab where to put that new resource. So it'll look like that first portrait that you looked at because that's the only portrait that's in that collection. So when you click on that, you're telling it to add the new resource to that collection. So if you've highlighted that in blue, the add button in the upper right-hand corner should highlight and allow you to click it. This will be adding the second resource into that first collection that you've created. Does that make sense? All right, Carol. We are at the end of our office hours, and thanks for chiming in today. Carol, if you are still encountering issues later tonight or tomorrow, please send us an email. I just put that into the chat area. It's learninglab@si.edu. And we can walk you through it. We can connect over Zoom or over Teams and share screens so that I can see more specifically what you're looking at. So keep playing with it. And if you still encounter those issues, just send us an email. We'll be happy to walk you through it. We'll find some time later this week to walk you through everything. Okay. So thanks again for joining us tonight for office hours. And we'll be back next week with my colleague Tess Porter. And until then, be safe, and we'll see you then. Thanks.